How's it going, car people? It's Lucas here, back with another video, and welcome to part 2 of going through my old car pictures and videos. Last video we checked out all images from 2010 up to 2017, and today we will be going through the ones from 2018 up until today. Now, 2018 was when I started on YouTube, but as I mentioned in the last video, I did take pictures of cars after the launch of this channel, but never showed them here, so today I will be showing them to you. Let's kick this video off with a Tesla duo, a Model S and a Roadster. They look really cool next to each other. Here's a W177 Mercedes-Benz A-Class with a wrap that has a very unique pattern on it. Here we have a collection of cars located in Thailand. I was there on vacation in March and April 2018, and I saw this collection at the resort I stayed at. Some of the cars look like they've been sitting for a while, like that second-gen Honda CR-V back there. I also did go car spotting whilst in Thailand, and I have a video of that on the channel. Now it's time to look at some cooler cars, starting with an Audi R8 and continuing with a Bmw i8, a Volkswagen Beetle turned into a mini pickup truck, a yellow Porsche Cayman GT4, another Bmw i8, and a W210 Mercedes-Benz E55 AMG. Fun fact, for some reason I originally thought the AMG badge was fake, but no, it's not. This actually is a real AMG, which makes it all the better. In July 2018, I was on vacation once again, this time in Croatia. I did go car spotting there and also have a video of it, but of course I saw the coolest cars when I wasn't filming that video. At least I took pictures of them. But first off, here are a few pictures of our Sienna in various locations of Croatia, also with some really nice scenery. Now for the cool cars, starting with something bad, but also interesting, the infamous Yugo. And a Yugo sedan! I had no idea a sedan version of the Yugo existed until I saw this one. Here's an E46 BMW 320d Touring with an M3 badge, a Chevy Cruze with bronze wheels, a Mercedes CLS, now we're getting into the cool cars, a Porsche Panamera E-Hybrid, a Mercedes-Benz CL63 AMG, an A45 AMG, a C63 AMG Coupe in a striking blue color, an E65 BMW 7 Series with crazy looking wheels, and a W204 Mercedes-Benz C250 Coupe with an AMG badge. This time the AMG badge is actually aftermarket. Even today I still wonder why I thought the same thing about that E55 we saw earlier. Now about this C250, this one, believe it or not, was a US import. I'm not kidding, the speedometer is in miles an hour, and whilst in the US, it was registered to the state of Illinois, which is the state that I'm originally from. No kidding. This car I saw while I was out car spotting, and it had to have been the highlight of the video. After that summer, I went on a year abroad and spent August to December of 2018 in Kansas City, Kansas. This is not the most ideal place in the US to go car spotting, but I did see this Tesla Model X and this blue Jeep Wrangler. Oh yeah, and here's my grandfather's 2007 Toyota 4Runner. Love that car. But he actually no longer has it. He replaced it with a 2020 RAV4 Hybrid that I should hopefully get a video of once I get back to the States. I also attended 2 car shows whilst in Kansas City, but I have videos of both shows on the channel, if you want to see what I saw there. Again, this was in 2018. Obviously, something like that wouldn't be possible in this pandemic. That about wraps it up for 2018. Let's move on to 2019. From January to June of 2019, I was in France, in continuation of my year abroad. So most pictures I took in 2019 are from France. Whilst in France, I stayed with a host family, and those are their cars, a 2010 Nissan Pixo and a 2012 Citroën Jumpy. I have videos of those cars on the channel. This was also the time when I started taking more pictures of cars. Before then I only took pictures of the coolest cars I saw. No matter though, here goes. Let's start out with a Citroën Trio and a Sunset. You might also recognize the 2012 Jumpy in this picture. I also have a video of that 2007 C4 Picasso and that 2018 C3 on the channel. In this picture, French car, American car. Kinda cool. I also have a video of the Grand Cherokee on the channel. It's a 2007 in the Overland trim with a 3-liter diesel V6 from Mercedes-Benz, and an American flag, because it makes total sense to have one on a Jeep. Now we have a Volkswagen duo, a 2017 T-Roc and a 2009 Tiguan, which I also have videos of on the channel. But now we're getting into cars that I didn't feature on the channel. Now during spring break, which was in April 2019, I was down in the south of France, and while there I saw this Renault Wind, which is basically the coupe/convertible version of the Renault Twingo, this Renault Zoe EV plugged-in charging, a Ford Ranger duo, an old one and a new one, a classic Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon, the two-door version, a Land Rover Series pickup truck with a Snow Rover sticker because it makes total sense given the color and off-roading abilities. Here we have a Renault Twizy, also plugged in charging. I still hope to get a review of a Twizy one day. And here is a Dodge Ram pickup with a long bed. By the way, the trip to southern France was taken with my family and not my host family, so I also have pictures of our Toyota Sienna down there, so take a look at them. Oh yeah, I also got a picture of it next to a Land Cruiser. And that wraps it up for southern France. Now for some of the cars I saw after I was back with my host family, starting with this Renault Estafette in green and yellow. During my last month in France, I actually attended 2 car shows, one of which I have a video of on the channel, but the other one I never made a video out of for some reason. Oh well, but here are some of the cars I saw there. I saw this Peugeot Ion electric car. I really want to get a review of one for the channel because they're interesting cars. I also saw a Peugeot Traveler, a Volkswagen T-Cross, a Renault Kadjar, a Toyota RAV4 Hybrid, and at this point you're probably thinking, well, those are boring cars to be seen at a car show, but now is where the cooler stuff comes in. This show also had a bunch of these Ligier microcars, which in France actually aren't that uncommon. We have some classic Citroëns, 2 CVs included. And finally, a Mercedes-Benz V250d with an AMG badge, and an A200d with an AMG badge. That's it for this car show. The other one I have a video of on the channel because that is where some really cool stuff was to be seen. In between those car shows, my mom back in Germany saw this Aston Martin DB11. My dad, also back in Germany, saw this Smart 4.4 with a Ferrari sticker on it. And I saw this old school Toyota Land Cruiser, this C63 AMG Coupe, which actually was also at that car show I just talked about. And finally, I got to check out this Volkswagen Chiron and Renault Espace, both of which have been turned into emergency vehicles. June 2019 was when I returned to Germany. Not too long after my return, I saw this Nissan 350Z, which seems to have been modified a little, and this American school bus, which has been transformed into a party bus and looks awesome. After that, my family and I were back in the US on vacation for 2 weeks. This was July 2019, we didn't go during the pandemic, but this was our rental car for that trip, a 2018 Toyota Sienna LE. It's another red Sienna, so who cares? I did get a picture of it next to a golf cart though. Whilst in the States, I also saw this turquoise Willys Jeep and this modified Volkswagen Jetta, but that's about it. Back in Germany, I saw this Mercedes-Benz E63 S AMG bi-turbo V8. And this Mustang Fastback. So vintage, so awesome. In September and October 2019, we went on another trip to Sylt, which is an island just north of Germany. The car culture on this island is crazy, and I also made a car spotting video there, but here are some of the cars I saw outside of filming that video. While it unfortunately was off-season for like the Ferraris and Lamborghinis to be out, I still saw some cool cars, like this Jaguar F-Type, a Mercedes-Benz SLC 43 AMG, a Bmw i3 behind a Porsche Boxster Spyder, a modified Volkswagen Beetle, a Renault Twizy, a black, white, and gray camouflaged E64 6 Series convertible, a Volkswagen Crafter camper van, a Mercedes-Benz C63 AMG wagon, a Bentley Mulsanne, another Volkswagen Beetle, a Mercedes-Benz SLS AMG next to a G55 AMG, one of the coolest AMG duos in existence, 2 Bentley Continental GT convertibles, a Porsche 911, another Renault Twizy, a Tesla Model X, a 1950s Buick Special, and finally, a C63 AMG Coupe. The highlight of my car spotting video from there was this, a Wiesmann GT MF4. Fun fact, before I saw it, I had stopped filming for a little, had put my phone away, then I saw it coming, so I quickly pulled out my phone again and was able to just barely catch it on camera. Moving on to December 2019, we have a very nice Fiat 500 Abarth, and here is an F20 Bmw 118d, which actually isn't a regular 118d. This was around the time where I had started taking driving classes in preparation to get my driver's license. This was the car I took some of my driving classes in. As with every vehicle from a driving school, this vehicle did have pedals built in on the passenger side in case of an emergency. I also learned how to drive a manual transmission in this car. Also, fun fact about taking your driver's test in Germany. you actually have the choice of taking it on an automatic or manual transmission vehicle. But the catch is, if you take it on an automatic transmission vehicle, you actually can't legally drive a manual transmission. You can only drive an automatic. It'll even say that on your license. This E46 BMW 3 Series is the automatic transmission vehicle at the driving school where I got my license. I got to drive it once while the F20 was out of commission. And those are all of my pictures from 2019. Let's move on to 2020. First off, here are some pictures of our Sienna while it was really dirty. These were taken in Austria on a stop during a road trip to Slovenia for a ski trip. Now, during the time I was taking driving classes, the F20 I showed you earlier was replaced with an F41 series at the start of 2020. It was also a manual. That then was the car I took my driver's test in. That way I can legally drive a manual transmission. I passed my test in February 2020, by the way. Only weeks before the first COVID lockdown, actually. Couldn't have timed that any better. Here's a Bmw I8 Roadster. Wow, we've seen a handful of i8s in this video, haven't we? Fun fact, this picture was taken in March 2020, right at the start of the first COVID lockdown. The story is I had to go to school once more to pick up some worksheets, and I saw this on my way home, so I grabbed a picture of it while I could. Two more cars I saw during the lockdown, April 2020 to be exact, while walking around outside, were this Opel GT, I think it's a GT, but I'm not entirely sure, and this MG MGB. Nice. Around May 2020 was when COVID started slowing down a little, allowing more adventures to happen. So we took a trip to Weimar to see my aunt and uncle again. While there, I saw this Citroën DS21. And now, let me talk about my uncle's Bmw M140i. When we visited in May, he still had it, and actually let me drive it.
Bereit? Ja. Okay, aber nicht übertreiben, weil der haut echt ab, ja. Geil. Yeah.
That was so awesome. Even though that was 8 months ago, big thanks and shout out to him for letting me drive it and trusting me to give it some gas. By far the fastest car I've ever driven. Also, my uncle no longer has the M140i because it was a lease, but we'll talk more about the replacement in a little bit. In June 2020, we took a visit to the Frankfurt Zoo, where I saw this Land Rover series with the zebra stripes on it. Fun fact, I saw this exact vehicle at a zoo visit back in 2014. 6 years later, and at this point almost 7 years, and it's still there. Also, it's right-hand drive. What a cool car. Now, before COVID even started, we had planned to go on a trip to the Azores in July 2020, but once the first lockdown started, we were unsure for a long time if we would get to go on the trip, and wouldn't have been surprised if we couldn't go. But in the end, we were able to go, which was lucky. Whilst in the Azores, we had two rental cars, a 2019 Ford Fiesta Trend and a 2019 Mitsubishi Space Star. We had two because, surprisingly, that was way cheaper than one big car, so we went with those. I do have a review of both cars on the channel, but I also took pictures of both cars in various locations around the Azores. Enjoy! The Azores trip overall was a success because we got to see a bunch of places and because none of us came down with COVID at any point throughout or after the trip. Also, after our return from the Azores, I saw this G-Wagon in a parking garage of the Frankfurt airport, in continuation of my love for G-Wagons and Mercedes-Benz. In September, we visited my aunt and uncle again, which now gives me the opportunity to show you the replacement for the Bmw M140i. This, a 2020 Mini Cooper S convertible. Hopefully in the future, once COVID slows down, I'll get the opportunity to film it. My uncle said that it's a lot of fun to drive and that he would let me drive it whenever a good time comes around to do it. Also, my uncle's brother has this Ferrari GTC 4 Lusso that I'm dying to get a video of. That would be incredible. Last but not least, the final car of all of my old car pictures and videos is a picture of this 1990s Jaguar Xjs Convertible. What a sweet car. Around when this picture was taken was when the COVID numbers started going up again and when school was really starting to keep me busy, so I didn't really have time to go car spotting from that point forward. Alright, and that is it for all of my old car pictures and videos that I have collected over the years, mostly from before I started on YouTube. This video took a really long time to make because before editing I had to look through my entire laptop as well as all of my photographic devices and SD cards to gather up all of my files and ensure that I had them all. as well as write this script and do this voiceover. But I had a really good time making it because it brought back so many memories. I hope you all have enjoyed this long path down memory lane. Hopefully the lockdown can come to an end soon so I can get back to car reviews, because I already have some cars that I plan on filming once it's safe and possible to do so. One of them could be this 2019 Mustang Convertible, or this Porsche Cayenne GTS, wink wink, but that might still be a while, so we'll have to be patient. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for taking this path down memory lane with me, and let's conclude this video with some crazy car noises. See you next time.